first time I met 50. And I think one of the things I noticed when he first walked into the room was his presence, right? Because it just kind of felt like he's gonna be a star. Like just the way he carried himself, swagger, everything, like, I don't know. It just seemed like he was the whole package. I'm here today because this is not only like a business partner to me, it's one of the best friends I've ever known in the world. And I would say that it's much more fun to be his friend than it is to be his enemy.
Eminem told the world straight up, 50 Cent isn't just an artist, he's his brother. And looking back over their 20+ year bond, every single move proves he wasn't exaggerating. So when 50 Cent went after Jay-Z publicly posting about the Epstein files, teasing new documentaries, refusing to back down against maybe the most powerful figure in music is greater than his greater.
Lawsuit coming with Jay. Yeah, part with Jay. I go, oh shoot, like that's right. To us, black excellence, right? That had to be there.
We getting tighter, what I'm saying, and united we stand, and ain't nothing else.
Black excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah. It's the billionaire brunch, like, unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm gonna be with you this year.
The internet collectively lost it. Every timeline, group chat and hip-hop podcast was asking the same question. What happens if Jay-Z's camp tries to silence 50 Cent the way the industry has muzzled outspoken voices before? And where would Eminem stand in all this? Anyone who's followed Marshall Mathers even briefly knows the answer. Billion-dollar empires, corporate execs, government suits, none of them have ever made him flinch. And with 50 Cent, 2 decades of proven, documented loyalty make the stakes crystal clear. But to understand why fans now believe Eminem has drawn a line in the sand for 50 Cent's safety, you have to see the full picture, how these 3 men got tangled up, what 50 is doing that has Jay-Z's team scrambling, and why Eminem stepping in changes everything. It all started back in 2002. Curtis Jackson was the most dangerous unsigned rapper roaming New York. 2 years earlier, on the 24th of May 2000, 9 bullets tore through his body outside his grandmother's Queens home, hitting his hand, arm, hip, both legs, chest, and face.
Why'd the guy shoot you 9 times? Was it drugs or something?
He was paid to do it.
He was paid to do it?
Yeah.
Who would want to shoot you?
Why were you targeted?
You're such a good guy.
It's my past.
It was a drug thing?
No,
like a business thing?
It's karma.
Karma?
Karma?
Explain to me again why this guy was hired to shoot you 9 times.
Well, he was paid because someone, felt like that I would potentially do something to them if they kept going in the direction that they were going.
Man, you are tough.
Columbia Records had already dropped him. Murder Incorporated acted like he didn't exist. Radio stations refused to play his tracks. Everything in the industry screamed 50 Cent's career was over before it began. But mixtapes don't play by those rules. He kept flooding the streets with music, and eventually, Guess Who's Back landed in Eminem's hands. What happened next changed hip-hop forever. Eminem didn't just vibe with the music, he called Dr. Dre and said, "We need to sign this guy now." That single phone call rewrote the game. A joint deal with Shady Records, Aftermath Entertainment, and Interscope was born. And Eminem didn't stop at lending his name. He executive produced 50 Cent's debut. On the 6th of February 2003, Get Rich or Die Tryin' dropped, moving roughly 872,000 copies in its first week, straight to #1 on the Billboard 200.
The song he was doing was so crazy there was nothing to get rid of. There was nothing that we could even say, oh, that would be cool for a mixtape.
At the end, that's why the album was so long. Like my album had 19 cuts on it. Technically, the maximum playing time you got for a single disc, and it's technically a double CD, serious side.
I don't know if we really set out to create anything. It was more, let's just make the best music that we can make.
2 years later, The Massacre smashed records, selling about 1.14 million copies opening week. Eminem was all over both projects, producing beats, writing hooks, making sure every door swung wide open for 50. None of that was required. In multiple interviews, Eminem calls 50 Cent his brother, not his artist, not his business partner, family.
All the things that I don't remember about 2002, I have a very clear memory of the first time I met 50. Something about him just drew you in. Dre and me knew that if it worked on us, that it was gonna work on the rest of the world. And I'm glad we trusted our instincts. I'm here today because this is not only like a business partner to me, it's one of the best friends I've ever known in the world. And he's also helped me through a lot of hard times in my own life, and he's always been there when I need him. It's much more fun to be his friend than it is to be his enemy, because this guy is relentless, and he won't stop. So 50, congrats on your star, man. Hollywood is making official.
And he didn't just talk the talk. During the Ja Rule and Murder Incorporated battles, he jumped straight into the war, recording diss tracks, trading bars, making it crystal clear coming for 50 Cent meant facing the full force of Shady Records. That kind of loyalty, it's rare today, and Eminem has never wavered, not once, in over 20 years.
I had no intention of talking about Ja in my music. And then this idiot goes and writes a record. All of a sudden, comes out of space that says a line about my daughter.
Damn, they think your mother's a crackhead and Kim is a no slut, so what's that gonna be with you, bro?
And that was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because M was like, kill him.
Fast forward to today, and that old school loyalty just became the most powerful force in hip-hop. Over the last 2 years, 50 Cent has transformed into the loudest voice exposing industry corruption. The Diddy situation cranked things to another level. Federal agents raided Sean Combs' properties in Los Angeles and Miami in March 2024. By September, Combs was in handcuffs, facing federal racketeering and sex trafficking charges.
This morning, watch how federal agents took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs. His lawyer said Combs had come to New York 2 weeks earlier with the intention of turning himself in. He did not expect the agents to be waiting at his hotel last Monday night.
50 Cent was online the very same day, posting, trolling, reminding everyone he'd been sounding the Diddy alarm for years. But social media wasn't enough. He executive produced a multi-part Netflix doc about Combs, turning years of trash talk into a professional, fully funded investigation. That project didn't just shine a light on Diddy, it opened a wider conversation about who else in the industry operates under protection, who runs business behind closed doors, and who might connect to similar alleged networks. That wider spotlight eventually landed on Jay-Z. When the Department of Justice released the Epstein files in early 2026, millions of documents went public. Buried inside, reports say, was a tip to the FBI from a woman claiming she woke up inside Jeffrey Epstein's Florida mansion in 1996 and saw both Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein in the room.
Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein were just named in the Epstein files. What the hell is going on?
Jay-Z has flat out denied any wrongdoing. A related civil lawsuit filed in December 2024 by attorney Tony Busby triggered a forceful public response from Jay-Z, who dismissed the case as idiotic and labeled it attempted blackmail.
Withdrew a lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z, which alleged the rape of a 13-year-old girl. Jay-Z came out fighting. He filed a lawsuit against you personally. He said that you and the Jane Doe, the accuser, were soullessly motivated by greed in abject disregard of the truth and the most fundamental precepts of human decency. The filing claimed the woman voluntarily admitted to Jay-Z's representative that he did not assault her, and that you, Tony Busby, had pushed her to go forward with a false narrative of the assault by Mr. Carter, Jay-Z, in order to leverage a maximum payday. What is your response to all this?
You said a great mouthful. That's almost every line you stated is false.
No criminal charges have been filed against Jay-Z in connection with any of this, and that distinction needs to be clear. 50 Cent reacted exactly as everyone expected, straight to Instagram. One post basically said Jay-Z made the Epstein list and that a documentary needed to happen. Another landed with, "I smell beef and popcorn." Within hours, blogs, podcasts, and comment sections across hip-hop were ablaze. 50 Cent wasn't playing, he was signaling that the same energy that fueled the Diddy doc was about to pivot toward Jay-Z. And consider the scale. Jay-Z's net worth clocks in around $2.5 billion, according to Forbes. He controls an empire spanning Roc Nation, Armand de Brignac Champagne, a partnership with the NFL, and connections to some of the most powerful corporate boardrooms on the planet. This isn't your typical rap beef, this is a confrontation on a level that dwarfs anything 50 Cent has faced before. Ja Rule? That's child's play compared to this.
The R-word lawsuit against Jay-Z has been dropped and he has since made a statement. Attorney Tony Busby was representing the Jane Doe who accused Jay-Z of doing unspeakable things to her many years ago. But now the attorney has dropped the civil case. This is the notice of voluntary dismissal, and this is Jay-Z's statement, which was posted on the Roc Nation Instagram page. He says, "Today is a victory. The frivolous, fictitious, and appalling allegations have been dismissed. The civil suit was without merit and never going anywhere. The fictional tale they created was laughable, if not for the seriousness of the claims. I would not wish this experience on anyone. The trauma that my wife, my children, loved ones, and I have endured can never be dismissed." This 1-800 lawyer, referring to Tony Busby, gets to file a suit hiding behind Jane Doe, and when they quickly realize that the money grab is going to fail, they get to walk away with no repercussions. The system has failed. The court must protect victims, of course, while with the same ethical responsibility, must protect the innocent from being accused without a shred of evidence. May the truth prevail for all victims and those falsely accused equally. And of course, it's signed Sean Carter.
The internet noticed immediately. What came next raised eyebrows industry-wide. After 50 started posting about Jay-Z and the Epstein files, rumors circulated that Beyoncé's legal team sent warnings demanding he stop. Official confirmation never appeared, but blogs and commentators ran with it. 50's response? Exactly what you'd expect from a man who survived 9 gunshots. He posted more. Nothing deleted. Nothing softened. Pressure kept rising. And that's when chatter about 50 Cent's safety blew up. Fans flooded his posts, warning him to watch his back. Podcasters compared his situation to other outspoken figures in entertainment who met untimely fates. Whether those comparisons hold or not, the tension in the culture is real and everyone feels it.
Blueprint drops September 11th when the towers fall. 9/11. We was all in Miami. We start working on Blueprint 2, and that's when like everybody was like in the studio a lot during that time.
Right.
And Jay walked in the studio, he said it before, but I'm telling you how impactful it was. He walked in the studio and he was like, "Yo, this dude 50, y'all gonna have to deal with him in the next couple months." He said it to the whole crew. You had to deal with him. And I heard a 50 record and I looked at Bleak. This dude said, "I know you don't love me, because you ain't the same when Jay-Z's a..."
Think about it. Tupac Shakur was gunned down on the 13th of September 1996 in Las Vegas, and theories about industry involvement lingered for decades, even after Dwayne K.D. Davis was charged in 2023. Biggie fell on the 9th of March 1997 in LA, still officially unsolved. Nipsey Hussle was shot the 31st of March 2019. Even though Eric Holder was convicted in 2022, speculation about motives tied to Nipsey's documentaries refused to die. 50 Cent producing expose documentaries while trolling the wealthiest man in music daily? That's the kind of energy that genuinely makes people nervous. Those closest to him feel it the most, which brings us back to Eminem. No direct statement from Eminem linking Jay-Z to the Epstein files exists yet, and that matters. What does exist is over 20 years of unmissable loyalty to 50 Cent. People in the know understand. Eminem's silence doesn't mean he's absent. In 2023, Bizarre from D12 described Eminem's loyalty as scary, explaining that Marshall will never back down if someone he cares about is threatened. That level of devotion is reinforced across 2 decades. When the industry turned its back on 50 Cent, Eminem opened his label, studio, and platform. When Murder Incorporated escalated the war, Eminem jumped into the booth and went to battle. At the Super Bowl 56 halftime show on the 13th of February 2022, Eminem shared the stage with 50 Cent, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, and Mary J. Blige, and even dropped to one knee in apparent support of Kaepernick's protest, despite NFL pressure, is greater than.
I was trying to envision what Dre might do.
Okay.
You know, like, I was thinking, like, yeah, it's dope. All of us are gonna rap together, right? And that kind of thing, but I didn't expect it to be like the production to be like this.
That's a man who acts on what he believes is right, no matter who objects. So when fans say Eminem has effectively sent a warning to Jay-Z over 50 Cent, they're not pointing at one viral clip or a single post. They're talking about 2 decades of proof. The whole industry already knows the score between Eminem and 50. No spelling it out is necessary. If something happens to 50, whether backdoor career, sabotage, sudden legal attacks, or anything else, Eminem won't sit quietly. And nobody controls Eminem. Over 220 million records sold worldwide make him one of the highest-selling artists in history. Influence at that level? Nearly impossible to cancel, impossible to buy, impossible to intimidate, and completely unpredictable when a line is crossed.
You notice in hip-hop, Eminem is the only rapper that nobody ever wants a problem with, including myself. You don't mess with the white.
But then he changed his idea and started dissing him.
He was a white rapper, and we all know about white privilege, so he's not better than...
But it wasn't a good move because now nobody listened the game no more, because it's know that Eminem destroys careers with his disses.
I've seen diss records build people's careers. I made a few of those.
Like when Benzino tried to diss Eminem but got destroyed by him. When got asked about it in an interview, he started crying like a baby girl.
For 22 years, every time I do an interview, they ask me about Eminem.
Next, MGK was an average rapper, but after the Eminem beef, he has completely stopped to do hip-hop music and started to do some emo punk weird thing.
That warning is moving through the industry right now, not via press releases, but through a track record that speaks for itself. And the timing couldn't be higher. Epstein files are still dropping new details as analysts dig through millions of pages. Jay-Z's name keeps appearing not just because of Epstein, but also due to decades-long ties to Diddy and Harvey Weinstein. People are spotting the pattern, and they're talking.
Justice Department has finally released some of the highly anticipated Epstein files. More than 300,000 pages of documents related to the late convicted sex offender were made public today. They include photos, flight logs, grand jury testimony, and a lot of heavy redactions.
It's all a part of this Epstein file. Uncle Luke had Jay-Z on the couch, and he had the girls off there freaking off while he was watching and everything. Jay couldn't take his eye off the girls.
Look at the history. Jay-Z recorded 2 albums with R. Kelly in the early 2000s, before Kelly's federal racketeering and alleged trafficking conviction hit in September 2021. He also signed a first-look film and TV deal with the Weinstein Company in 2016, just a year before Weinstein's allegations exploded and reshaped Hollywood forever. Defenders are right. Being close to someone who later faces allegations isn't guilt. Legally, that holds. But in the court of public perception, that's a different story. And right now, the narrative is spinning in a direction Jay-Z's team can't control.
Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein were self-proclaimed friends, and we got the receipts. Oh, and to make it worse, they were homies and hanging out around the exact same time Harvey was arrested.
In your thoughts on Donald Trump and what it means for what it means for mass incarceration?
You know what? This is a labor of love for Jay, and as a result, he's my friend. We're here to talk about that and nothing else.
That video was taped in 2017. What year was Harvey Weinstein investigated? Harvey Weinstein began being formally investigated and charged in 2017 and 18 after major news, blah, 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 blah. Now I understand why there are alleged reports that Jay-Z has flown out of town.
50 Cent is driving that momentum. Jaguar Wright has appeared on multiple podcasts, claiming Jay-Z is next after Diddy, alleging deep operational links between Jay-Z, Diddy, and Weinstein.
He's a criminal. Diddy is a drug dealer, and so is Jay-Z. The proof is there. How many people does he have to be around before people see him for who he is? Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter. This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades.
D.L. Hughley compared Jay-Z's blanket denials to Diddy's denials before that hotel hallway footage of the Cassie assault went public, footage that destroyed Diddy's credibility overnight.
I've never liked, there are people who do things because they know they can, and it had that bully mentality. There are people that do things that know they can. And here's the thing, it isn't whether you believe that Diddy did it or not, it's the silence from the people who work with him.
Kanye West said back in 2022 that Jay-Z and Pusha T built their careers in ways that made telling the truth impossible for them.
People like Jay-Z and fucking Pusha T, they made their living killing our people, so how the fuck they gonna stand up for our people? You know what I'm saying? But we forget that because we love Jay-Z's music so much. We love Pusha's music so much, right? But you think they would ever, Beyonce had the best for somebody else?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You think they would ever tell the truth? No, if they told the truth, they'd go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So you have liars.
Man.
Liars are now the face of our culture.
And 50 Cent is at the eye of this storm, amplifying every thread, reposting every claim, making it crystal clear he's not walking away. Epstein files, the pending Diddy trial, Netflix documentaries, relentless social media pressure, and Eminem's decades-long role as 50's protector, all of it collides into a scenario Jay-Z has never faced. Until now, controlling the narrative was Jay-Z's strength. Media relationships, corporate partnerships, legal firepower, decades of operating untouchable, it all worked in his favor. But none of that works against Eminem. Cease and desist letters to Marshall Mathers? Useless. Threats? Nothing. His legacy was built on refusing to be intimidated. So here's the early 2026 picture. Diddy sits in federal custody. Epstein files remain public. 50 Cent posts and produces non-stop. Jay-Z denies allegations, operating defensively. And Eminem? Still side by side with 50 Cent, saying nothing specific, but sending a message louder than any press statement could. Everyone sees it, the industry, the culture, Jay-Z's own team. Because coming for Curtis Jackson doesn't just mean taking on a rapper from Queens who survived 9 bullets and built a media empire from sheer grit. It means confronting the man who signed him when the world wrote him off, who went to war on his behalf without being asked, and who has never backed down from a confrontation in his life. Wealth, power, consequences, none of that matters. The warning didn't need a press conference. 20 years of proof already delivered.